Alright, welcome back for part 2. We are back to our diagram, and over to the left you see this little pull out. It looks like a rock. It has an outside and an inside. The outside we're going to label adrenal cortex, A-D-R-E-N-A-L, cortex, C-O-R-T-E-X. And the inside is called the adrenal medulla, M-E-D-U-L-L-A. And then the notes we're going to take on the next page. Mine went actually to the very next page, to the next page. Okay, so adrenal cortex produces 3 groups of steroid hormones. Those are our lipid-soluble hormones. And underneath, I just made those 3 columns. Okay, so the mineralocorticoids, these are the ones that control your water and salt balance. Aldosterone is the most potent and most common of those. And they control the sodium ion balance in your body. The other kind are the glucocorticoids, and these are the ones that, these are the cortisone and the cortisol. These are your stress hormones. They influence the metabolism of most body cells and help provide resistance to stressors, and they are absolutely essential for life. They help the body negotiate crises through negotiating the blood sugar balance. Okay, making sure your body has what it needs to get through whatever whatever crisis it's going through. And then you have your some abnormalities here. Cushing's syndrome. It's usually caused by a tumor or from using steroids. You have dramatic losses in muscle and bone protein and water salt retention, leading to the moon face, a redistribution of fat to the abdomen and posterior to the back, which causes the buffalo hump, and a tendency to bruise and poor wound healing. You also have Addison's disease, which is a hyposecretion of cortisol, tendency to lose weight. Your plasma glucose and sodium levels drop, potassium levels rise, and severe dehydration and hypotension are common. And with both of these, tumor or hormone therapy, removing the tumor, or stop taking the steroids or treatments. The third one are sex hormones, or gonadotropins. So when you're younger, when you're going through puberty and in your 20s, young adults, your sex hormones come from your ovaries and testes, okay? They produce the vast amount of your sex hormones. But your adrenal cortex produces some too, okay? And as you get older, the ones that come from your ovaries and testes decrease, and these are still there, okay? And so most of them are testosterone. There are some estrogen too. But this is why, like, when females grow older, sometimes they get facial hair. It's because these sex hormones are more prevalent as you age than the ones that come from the ovaries and testes. The adrenal medulla. This is part of your fight or flight response. It makes epinephrine and adrenaline, and norepinephrine or noradrenaline. So it causes your blood sugar levels to rise, your blood vessels constrict, the heart beats faster. The blood is diverted from temporarily non-essential organs to the brain, heart, and skeletal muscles. These are called catecholamines. They're released during stress. And they are short-lasting. You know, some hormones linger. We've talked about that. Hormones last a long time. These hormones don't last very long. Okay, they occur, they give a quick response, and they dissipate. And they're not essential for life. And so hyposecretion is not a big deal. Hypersecretion, on the other hand, puts you on high alert all the time, and that's not good for your body. Okay, so back on your diagram, you have your pancreas. Copy these notes. We are familiar with this. We did the diagram already. I already did the activity a couple days ago. Hypoglycemia, read through that. Gestational diabetes, read through that. Okay, the ovary, you're going to label on the diagram, and I have the notes on the notes page. If you can fit them on your diagram, you can write them there. Hopefully this is stuff you already know, and we'll get deeper into it as we get into the reproductive system later in the year. And the same thing with testes, you have room on your diagram, write them there. If not, put them on the notes page. And just read this. Okay, other hormones. This goes on your notes page. Your kidneys, not a gland, but your kidneys produce erythropoietin, which stimulates red blood cell production. That's important. And your fatty tissues, or your adipose tissues, produce prostaglandins. And those do a bunch of different things. They're different kind of hormones because they don't travel through your system. They kind of act where they are. But they do these things. And another thing interesting that they do is they have to do with the inflammatory response. And I've heard some research about that having to do with how it crosses the blood-brain barrier, which is interesting. Okay. And then your adipose tissues, your fatty tissues, also secrete leptin. You may have seen this commercial, this weight loss commercial as well. So we're going to have a quiz on this. Next class, we're going to do some review activities, but then we are going to have a quiz, so make sure you understand. And understanding is better than memorization here, because I won't be able to put all of this on a quiz, but you're going to have to be able to kind of get to the meat of it. Like, what does this hormone do? What does it affect? And what does it link to? So we're going to have a quiz over the glands, the hormones they produce, and what those hormones do. So however you need to categorize that, if you want to make sure you know all of the sex hormones and then kind of understand where they come from and what they do, or all of the water balance hormones and all of that. So kind of organize your study habits that way.